Fala, galera. Deixa eu ver se está funcionando já. Me avisa, por favor, vocês estão escutando a transmissão, ou só eu, ou nenhum dos dois. Só para saber. Eu deixei, acho que a transmissão com áudio já. Tá tocando hino agora. A equipe da marcha já perfilada ali. Passou o Pedro, Gabriel. Espera aí, deixa eu ver se está funcionando o áudio. Deixa eu ver. Avisa se vocês estão escutando. Lembra de avisar do áudio para eu saber se tá tudo certo a transmissão, enfim. Espera aí. E olha o nível de transmissão também. Esse jogo tá passando só no Vimeo, não tá passando ESPN nem nada. E mesmo assim, tá uma transmissão bem profissional. Deixa eu terminar de mandar aqui pra galera que é nossa atleta. Quando começar o jogo mesmo, eu vou até me tirar aqui para não travar muito, mas enfim, se for tendo alguma coisa, algum comentário, eu entro aqui para falar. Porque, enfim, é bom vocês treinarem inglês com a narração, tá com repórter no campo, enfim, tá bem fera a transmissão deles, então vou deixar rolando por um tempo. O da Marquette também tá começando, e aí eu vou assistindo aqui por fora, se for tendo algum lance interessante do da Marquette, eu vou trocando a transmissão, não dava para botar as duas ao mesmo tempo. Olha lá, o Pedro é o capitão, né, da marcha, foi lá tirar o para o ímpar. Olha lá, o Pedro tirando ali para o ímpar. Não, já passou. E aí, estava conversando com o Pedro antes de começar, antes deles entrarem para o aquecimento, né? O Pedro Dolabella, o capitão. Ele falou que a galera estava muito confiante, enfim, vai ser um jogo muito difícil, porque a LMU não perdeu esse ano, eles estão com recorde de 7 vitórias, 2 empates, então é difícil jogar contra uma equipe embalada assim, né? Então, realmente vai ser jogaço. Deixa eu só postar aqui que começou o jogo, para a galera ver. Deixa eu ver o da Marquette. O da Marquette ainda não começou a transmissão. Começando aqui, eu vou transmitindo. Marshall começou com a posse de bola e tá rolando. Eu não sou narrador, não vou narrar não, galera. Vou deixar rolando por aí. Ó, já começou o da Marshall, galera. Eu vou só tirar aqui rapidão para botar o da Marquette para vocês verem. O estádio, os dois estão jogando num campo de treinamento, não é estádio, porque são as primeiras fases. Passando, vai aumentando para estádios e tudo mais. Espera aí, deixa eu só mostrar o da Marquette enquanto está começando. E é o que eu falei, vou ficar transmitindo os dois. Eu queria botar os dois na tela, só que não tinha como. Então, vou ficar acompanhando o da Marquette aqui por fora. Se tiver gol, enfim, acontecendo alguma coisa, eu vou mostrando o da Marquette. Então, consigo voltar, enfim. Então o jogo da Marquette vai começar agora, o Zion tá no time titular, o Matheus acabou não sendo titular, mas deve entrar durante o jogo, então vou ficar misturando, mas vou deixar soltando aqui o da Marshall porque tem mais brasileiros em campo e tudo mais. Fechado? Mas só para falar que eu tô também acompanhando o da Marquette, tendo gol, algum lance importante, eu vou ficar trocando as transmissões. Fechado? Mas vou voltar aqui com a Marshall para vocês. Eu também tô em casa, galera. Se, enfim, internet, alguma coisa assim, dá uma perdoada. Mas acho que tá bom, né? Acho que não vai travar para ninguém, não. Então vou soltar aqui. É isso, jogo começando da Marshall. A Marshall tá com o titular. Os brasileiros estão jogando Pedro Dolabella ali, o capitão, o Gabriel Alves lá na lateral esquerda, ali, ó, com a chuteira amarela, recebeu agora a bola o Gabriel. O Vitor Dias está jogando lá na frente também. E eu acho que o Vini, que é volante, está jogando também. Então, estão com 4 brasileiros na equipe titular. Deixa eu terminar de postar aqui. E vocês estão conseguindo escutar bem o áudio da transmissão para vocês irem treinando inglês e tudo mais? Tá ok? Me avisa aí pelo chat. Tá de boa, né? Então, fechado. Vou deixar solto um pouco o jogo aí. Enfim, se for tendo algum comentário, eu vou comentando. Vou ficar de craque neto aqui. Só vou comentar, não vou narrar nada de jogo, não. Pelo que eu tava vendo da Fordham também, eles são um time realmente mais defensivo. Então você vê que eles estão jogando bem fechadinho. Acho que agora tá chegando a 4 minutos de jogo, só a Marshall que teve a posse de bola, né? E é realmente assim que eles jogam, então acho que vai ser um jogo bom para eles. E eu tô assistindo, galera, pela janela, porque a gente tem um delayzinho, então vou comentando pelo que tá aparecendo aqui. Não sei se vai ficar muito fora, mas acho que tá tranquilo. E o João também tá titular? O João também tá titular, então. Não cheguei a pegar a escalação, mas fera também, João. O João jogando mais de volante, mais um volante mais saindo pro jogo, né? Cabeçada para fora. O time da Ford, a gente fez a mesa redonda, para quem acompanhou. Teve alguém que tinha jogado contra eles. Eu acho que era a galera da Marquette que tinha jogado. E falou que o jogo deles é muito bola na área mesmo. Time alto, time forte. Então é um típico time americano, ó, o número 7 aqui, grandão, contra um time mais técnico, né? Um time mais brasileiro, que gosta de jogar com a bola no pé, enfim. Ó, o jogo da Marquette acabou de começar, hein? Ah, o João aqui, né, o 17? E galera, é o que eu falei, deixa eu só ver também. Aproveitem o que está acontecendo de transmissão para ir treinando inglês também. Eu sei que eles falam meio alto, mas dá para ir pegando um pouco. Estão falando a escalação, né? Os que estão de titular, reserva, então vai pegando também treinando inglês. Importante. Ó, entrando agora em 12 minutos de jogo, e é isso. A Marshall com a posse de bola o tempo inteiro, mas também não tá conseguindo criar muita coisa, né? E o outro time, ó, chutão pra frente, pra atacante alto segurar a bola, já pegou, recuperou o jogo, tende a ser totalmente assim. Lá na Marquette acabou começando um pouco depois do jogo, lá tá 0-0 ainda com 5 minutos de jogo. Eles começaram um pouco atrasado. E é isso, acho que até a Marshall tá gostando se o jogo manter assim, né? O outro time totalmente defensivo, deixando eles ficarem com a bola, mas aí tem que preocupar um pouco com a defesa também. Mas a Marshall acabou tendo uma defesa muito boa. Eles estavam com a terceira melhor defesa da NCAA inteira. Então tá tudo apontando para a Marshall realmente passar. Deixa eu ver se eu postei certo aqui o link. E como curiosidade também, galera, quem acompanha a marcha, eu já falei várias vezes isso, mas o número 11, o Jamie Roberts da Inglaterra, ele foi draftado nesse último draft, só que o time que draftou ele, eu não lembro exatamente qual foi, liberou ele jogar essa temporada. Então, acabando agora os Nationals, ele já vai para a equipe da MLS profissional, já se juntar ao time e tudo mais. Como a MLS acabou de começar, teve só 2 rodadas, ele não vai perder muito da MLS e pôde jogar toda a temporada, enfim, então vai chegar já com ritmo de jogo, porque estava aquela época da MLS parada por causa do corona e tudo mais. Então, várias equipes que tinham draftado os atletas deixaram eles jogar essa temporada, né, do college. Ele tinha ainda um ano de elegibilidade, então tá jogando. Acabando agora, sendo campeão ou não, o Jamie Roberts já vai para a equipe que draftou ele. Ó, jogada boa do atacante. O Vitor Dias também, que é o mais técnico, né, da marcha, ainda não conseguiu pegar a bola. Acho que ele tá jogando mais enfiado. Mas o jogo é esse. A marcha atacando, o Fordham pega uma bola, vai vertical e tenta fazer algum contra-ataque. Acho que vai ser bem assim o jogo inteiro mesmo. Vou deixar a transmissão rodando aqui um pouco. Isso, o Vitor falou, né? Foi draftado pelo Sport em Kansas City, então acabando a temporada, o Jamil já vai para lá. E os outros atletas, enfim, vários outros atletas podem ser draftados no draft do ano que vem. Então eles vão jogar, na verdade, 2 Nationals, esse de agora e o do final de ano, do de dezembro. Quem se destacar nesses dois, o draft é em janeiro do ano seguinte, né? Janeiro de 2022. Vou deixar a transmissão ficar em tela cheia aqui por um tempo e já volto aí. E pessoal na transmissão tava falando aqui, não sei quem pegou, que ele já tava no chão há um tempão, até que falaram que pode ter sido cãibra, mas acho que não, né? Foi algo no joelho dele, do Vitor Dias. Espero que não tenha sido nada, mas pelo que ele levantou ali, acho que deva estar tudo certo já. É aquilo, né? Tem que esperar sair agora para poder voltar. Para quem não sabe, regras do college, se fosse alguma contusão, sei lá, mais séria, que ele tivesse que ficar tratando fora, poderia outro atleta entrar no lugar dele e quando ele recuperasse, ele voltaria para o campo e não iria contar como substituição, como ele tivesse saído. Mas como ele conseguiu recuperar rápido e voltar, nem precisou disso. Mas enfim, só algo diferente também de regras do college, né? Quando você está fazendo tratamento, enfim, sei lá, quando tem corte de cabeça, que você tem que botar a touca, enfaixar, esse tempo o time não fica com um atleta a menos. Ele repõe um atleta e quando estiver pronto ele volta e isso não conta como substituição. Jogo da Marquette também 0-0 com 12 minutos agora de jogo. Também tá um jogo bem estudado, bem defensivo. A Marquette segurando um pouco mais contra Loyola, né? Loyola lá da Califórnia, um time mais técnico um pouco. Mas enfim, Marquette está segurando por agora também. O Gabriel, que é, como eu falei também, quem acompanhou o Gabriel era meio campo, foi para lá, foi para lateral, mas é um cara muito mais ofensivo, então é um lateral que chega muito no ataque, o Gabriel, lateral esquerdo. Uma curiosidade que ela tá falando, para quem não entende inglês, ela falou que principalmente no college soccer não é normal o atleta jogar o jogo inteiro, justamente por ter substituição ilimitada e tudo mais. Mas tem 3 atletas da Fordham, provavelmente os zagueiros, pelo que ela estava falando, que jogaram todos os minutos de todos os jogos da Fordham na temporada. Então, dá para ver, assim, analisando isso, que talvez eles não tenham. Eita, tirou a zaga. Que eles não tenham um elenco tão qualificado ali na reserva. Então, esses atletas estão tendo que jogar o jogo inteiro. Isso pode ser uma vantagem da marcha. Se eles tiverem que fazer substituição, talvez o nível caia um pouco mais. Boa, vou deixar rodando mais um pouco aqui o jogo. Já já eu volto com comentários. Estou também olhando o jogo da Marquette. Vou tentar separar alguns lances para passar aqui. Ó, vamos aproveitar que ele tá tendo atendimento, vou colocar um pouco jogo da Marquette para rodar aqui. Espera aí. Espera aí, deixa eu soltar o áudio aqui também, que eu tinha tirado. Vocês estão ouvindo o jogo da Marquette também? Ó, o Zion tá ali de titular, né, o número 23. Esse atacante número 9, ele é freshman e ele também tá entre os 10 melhores freshmen do país. É o artilheiro deles, já é capitão mesmo sendo freshman, esse número 9, mas ele é americano mesmo. E é isso, nesse jogo daqui, que vocês não estavam vendo, a Marquette tá jogando bem assim, esses três na linha de frente, né, o Zion, o 9 e o número 11 aqui. O número 11 também muito bom jogador, mas tá jogando muito mais fechadinha. Quem tá ficando com a bola é a LMU, estão tendo que adaptar para o jogo. Então estão subindo, mas enfim, tá aquele jogo mais estudado também. O campo aqui tá parecendo ser campo de grama sintética, não tenho certeza, mas é isso, ó, deixaram escapar agora lance que não podia ter acontecido. Eita. Vou voltar pro jogo da Marquette, da Marshall. O cara lá já foi atendido e quase teve gol agora da Marshall, inclusive. Deixa eu voltar pra lá. Peraí. Pronto, voltei pro jogo da Marshall. Oi, galera, lembra quem tá aqui, deixa o like aqui pra gente tentar atingir mais gente, enfim. Vou deixar rodando agora o jogo um pouco mais livre. Tô aqui sozinho, tô tendo que postar no Instagram, comentar, mudar, ver. O jogo tá uma loucura, mas tá fera. Espero que estejam curtindo aí a transmissão. Eu sei que é chato às vezes ter que ficar entrando no Vimeo, nesse site de universidade. Aqui no YouTube fica mais fácil para assistir no celular, enfim. Vou deixar rodando aqui um pouco, beleza? Ó, e voltando para mostrar de novo, bola aérea, Fordham, o jogo deles é isso. Até quando a bola volta, eles preferem botar na área de novo do que trabalhar a bola. O jogo deles é realmente esse. E a zaga da Marshall é uma zaga boa no jogo aéreo também, então acho que para eles vão estar confortáveis um pouco com esse estilo de jogo também. Ó, 1-0 Marshall. O Vitor Dias acreditou ali, né? O zagueiro deu um mole, escorregou, não sei direito o que aconteceu, mas foi inteligente. Rolou atrás para esse Josef, alguma coisa, Malo Josef, alemão também, e finalizou, né? Fez o que tinha que ser feito. Mas gostei do ponto para analisar aí, o Vitor Dias ter acreditado na jogada. O outro cara estava muito mais na frente, escorregou, até deve ter reclamado lá um toque do Vitor, mas acho que não teve não, acho que ele escorregou mesmo. Conseguiu cortar para trás, inteligente. 1-0 o Marshall. Jogo importante porque agora a Fordham vai ter que sair, né? Aquele 1-0 que eu que sou corintiano, quando jogava ali na retranca com Carilli e Tite era a pior coisa, porque o time toma um gol e eles agora vão ter que sair e não são acostumados com isso. Então vai sobrar espaço pro Vitor, pro Jamie Roberts lá na ponta esquerda, pro Pedro ter mais espaço também. O Pedro não estava conseguindo pegar muito na bola, então agora muda o jogo, agora a Ford vai ter que sair. Eu vou esperar ver se eles vão passar algum replay. Se não passar, eu faço um replay aqui, volto um pouco a transmissão e passo um replay aqui. Nossa, o tanto de pássaro passando voando. Uai, o jogo tá sem áudio? Eu tinha perguntado, a galera falou que tava com áudio. Pera aí, deixa eu ver o que aconteceu. Tá sem áudio pra todo mundo? Ou só pro Eduardo? Deixa eu tentar botar aqui um... Deixa eu tentar arrumar aqui. Deixa eu ver. Vê se vocês estão conseguindo escutar agora. O Vitor é o camisa 31, é esse aqui que tá marcando, um pouco mais baixinho. E o Pedro é o camisa 10. Pedro é o capitão aqui do lado dele, camisa 10 da Marshall. Agora o áudio tá funcionando? Como que tá para vocês? Ainda tá sem áudio, né? Peraí.
And Fat Hazda kind of lost it. The sun as well.
Pronto, agora vê se vocês estão conseguindo escutar o áudio. Acho que agora foi, né?
An LED light that kind of like being on the highway.
Já avisem aí, eu mudei as configurações aqui.
A lot of people drive at nighttime around
Acredito que agora
and it blinds
vocês vão conseguir escutar o...
Same situation there. The sun is there. There are clouds here today, but that may have played with Fat Hazda a little bit. Either way, it's Marshall Ball again, leading 1-0.
see a little bit more sense of urgency in Fordham now.
Boa, não, agora vai ficar melhor. Tá com cerca de 12, faltando 12 minutos, 11 minutos, a última vez que mostrou. Eles estão botando, às vezes, o relógio ali embaixo. Ele não tá com o relógio a transmissão inteira, não.
All right, here's Fordham. Fahazda with the hand up and a player down for the Rams now.
Ah, tá. Ô, Vitor, você achei que você tava falando meia de meião mesmo. Não, o Vitor, ele é ponta direita, né? O winger, joga ele aberto na direita. E o Pedro joga mais de 10 mesmo, mais centralizado. Às vezes ele muda para centroavante e aí troca com esse alemão que fez o gol. Mas hoje eu acho que ele tá jogando realmente mais de meia e o número 7 ali, o Milo Joseph, tá jogando de atacante. Agora que tá com áudio, eu vou deixar a transmissão rodando mesmo. Não tinha entendido que tava sem áudio. Se acontecer alguma coisa disso de áudio sumir, me avisa aqui no chat, porque eu não consigo saber. Acho que pra mim tava normal, mas agora acho que tá certo. Então vou sair aqui rapidinho, deixar rodando um pouco e tô de olho aqui na Marquette também.
Let's go to Bridget.
Yeah, Corey, the coaches here for Fordham, you can see them talking with the officials. They're mad and wanting this to be a red card. They say if you watch the review, this should be a red card, trying to get it figured out here right now.
Yeah, that's right. You know, that looked physical enough that we could possibly see our first red card of the entire week. But, Damien, you're shaking your head a little bit. Think it's just incidental contact, as the saying goes?
Well, he kind of made a play on the ball. I mean, you know, he slid tackle to try to gain possession of the ball to get it away from Fordham. Probably just going to be a yellow card situation. Most of the time in college, it's hard to get a red card in college.
True. Yeah, they've kind of curtailed the rules on that. It's been a long time since we've seen anything big pop up on the national stage in terms of a really physical move. Here comes Fordham now. They'll go for that penalty kick try. That one will fly by.
The long shot there on goal, just a bit wide in that left post.
Going past Oliver Simla, who will put it back into play. And the defense working that time on a little bit of a wayward penalty kick try with 15:50 left in regulation, and Marshall leading this one 1-0, turning the offense from Joseph, now working back with their defense.
See again, Marshall, 4-4-2 formation, just taking their time.
Aí, galera, agora apareceu lá embaixo aquilo que eu falei, 15 minutos ali, faltam 15 minutos, não são 15 minutos jogados. O tempo começa em 45 e vai descendo. E quando chegar no 0, acaba sem prorrogação. Então, faltam 15 minutos para acabar o jogo. 15, 17, 16, vocês veem que o relógio está descendo.
He'll get it back. On the pursuit now, and Fordham's there with Brandon Golden. Golden just running in out of the
E lá na Marquette tá 0-0 ainda também, faltando 12 minutos, aí também um ponto. A Marquette começou depois, como que lá faltam 12 e aqui 15. Aqui teve o atendimento do Vitor e do atleta da Fordham, e agora tá tendo outro atendimento. Olha lá o relógio. O juiz, quando tem atendimento que vai parar o jogo, ele pode parar o relógio. Então, por isso que muda um pouco. O jogo que começou antes, às vezes pode acabar depois do jogo que começou depois. Então, olha lá, o relógio parou no 15, o Gabriel estava sendo atendido, e aí quando bater, vai voltar a rodar o relógio. Tem curiosidade aí pra vocês entenderem e não ficarem perdidos.
He's going to shake it off and try to stay on the pitch. But both teams understand, hey, this is one and done tournament play. If you lose this match, your season is over. If you win, you advance into the next match. So everything is being left out on the pitch, and you're going to see some hard tackles. You're going to see hard fought balls won or lost by each squad. So you expect to see players on the pitch all afternoon long.
Yeah, it's turning into that kind of match here in the opening 20, 25 plus minutes as we go under the 15-minute to go mark. Marshall. Wolcianus now back on the far side. Schneider back now to Simla. Simla will control, but he's being pressured by Fordham, and that was Matt Sloan who was covering up close to Simla. Now Fordham trying to take over now with Fath Hazda, and here's Matt Hazda now. Ball kicked away, rolls right to the midfield line. Fordham comes back to control, whacks it away. So that's Fathazda there. And now getting close from Fordham, that's Max Rogers. Rogers there wearing number 11.
See again, Fordham trying to come up with that equalizer as we get around the 13-minute mark left in this first half. Rams, great defensive team. 4 clean sheets on the season, not used to trailing early in a match. See how they respond as this half winds down and as we get into the second half of play.
Marshall, the importance, as we've mentioned throughout the week, of a 1-goal lead early. Marshall, Thundering Herd, now into Fordham territory. The last time they were down here close, they got Milo Yosef to get that goal, the one that has opened up the scoring for the Thundering Herd. Fordham trying to track it down. That was Rogers close to it. Gets a little kick from one of the Rams there on the sideline seating. Throw in. That should be Rogers there to try to meet it first for Fordham. It is. Rogers now tangled and almost tangled up with a Pedro Dolabella for Marshall. Now it'll be up to Simla. Simla will step on it, now kick it away with 12:50 remaining in the opening half, and Marshall leading 1-0 over Fordham. Here are the Thundering Herd. Right now, Simla will play around with Colin Musianus now. Bounces away, kicked around. Here we go. And Simla, ready? Simla over now to Musianus. Rogers was there defensively for Fordham, tried to get in the middle of it. Marshall struggling a bit to get it past the midfield line. They will get it clear now, and that one's down there for Levine, who had it touch the top of his head, and then Levine tracking back to secure it.
Yeah, long crosser there by Marshall, just trying to get it in the zone of Fordham, cleared away there. Levine.
Yeah, Levine waving everyone down. Ball met with a header and then bounces into the first 3 or 4 rows of seating. You see the umbrella out there as well today. It's pretty sunny out here. Important to have an umbrella. I've got one in my trunk that Grant Robertson actually gave me. I could use it if we didn't have the tent out here today, but I appreciate that umbrella as well. It'll come in handy this summer. Here comes Marshall now. They'll kick it away. Bounced by Jan-Erik Leinhos, and ball on the move. Fordham after it. It'll roll out. A little too much of a roll that time for Max Rogers. He just didn't have the skates to catch up with it. Levine puts it back into play for Fordham. And the Rams have 11:24 left to try to get back down the field. They'll work to the left on your stream screen, and they'll try to get down there to score that equalizing goal as Marshall leads this one 1-0. Here come the Rams with Sebastian Fabrin. And now picked up here by Jack Slaus. Slaus kicking it away. Bounces in front of a Marshall player. Now another Marshall player to it. Had to get a better look there at the number. That looked like that time for Marshall that it was Jan-Erik Leinhos. Now it'll be Simla that time to control it. Simla puts it back into play. Fordham there has Max Rogers close to it. Rogers still has it, number 11 there for Fordham. Rogers started this thing. Now it's up to Fordham and Brandon Golden. Golden has it past the logo. Golden kicks it away. Stepping on it now is Samir Fathazda. Fathazda stepping on it. Bounces close to the midfield line. Now Fordham will play around with it. They'll get it back to Sebastian Fabrin. Fabrin sending it down to Slaus. Slaus with a heavy-footed kick and a header that bounces and makes that ball ricochet around, but Fordham still controlling it. But Marshall there playing stingy defense as they have all year long, all season long, continuing here in the postseason, trying to back up that scoring goal from earlier. And who is it again? It's Milo Yosef. Yosef was almost there for another scoring opportunity. Levine will get to it and kick it away. How did Yosef pop up in a scoring spot again? If he had just a little bit more space, Yosef could have gone double dipping here early on. Now Marshall, they have it back. You know, Marshall wants to get it back to Yosef. For the moment, though, they'll play behind the midfield line. And the Thundering Herd, 9:50 to go in this first half, leading 1-0 over Fordham.
Yosef there with the run out, had a good shot at it. Kudos to the defender for Fordham to slow Yosef down. If he hadn't stepped in front of him, it would have been a one-on-one situation with the goalkeeper, Josh Levine. And Levine's already given up one. Don't tell Joseph, you don't want to give him another opportunity to score a goal on net.
I got another player down here for Marshall. It has been physical. We've seen a number of players take some pretty big spills. So up now for Marshall It's Vitor Dias. Dias back up onto his feet from Brasilia, Brazil.
Coming into this match, Dias was the leading goal scorer for the Thundering Herd. That's 6 on the season, 11 shots on goal for Vitor. But again, early on in this match, you see Marshall being more methodical, really possessing the ball, controlling the pace of play. Fordham has gotten to the back zone of Marshall just a tad bit, but not a lot of shots on goal, nothing to scare Oliver Simla.
Ball bounces past Levine there. And Fordham's goalie, Josh Levine, gestures with the hand. Now whacks it with the foot. Sends it down on a nice kick. Fordham, a header. Bounces. The Rams on the move here with Brandon Golden. Golden trying to hook up with a player. Little scare that time for Oliver Simla, as Rogers that time was the beneficiary of that golden kick. Rogers and Golden trying to play around that time and work as venerable teammates. Didn't quite work out, though. The space was at a premium as they got close to the goal with, again, Rogers and Golden. And here is Simla now.
Yeah, Golden with the touch to Rogers. That would have been a heck of a shot if he were able to get it on goal on his inside right boot. Not able to connect with that one.
Alberto Pangrazi coming in. Also a substitution now for Marshall coming in, as that's Noah Raphael. And here's Simla with 8:30 to go in the first half. Simla working goalie for Marshall. Levine on the other side for Fordham has already been picked on once on that goal from Milo Yosef. Can he stand tall the rest of the way? Keep this just a 1-goal differential. Can Fordham find a way to maybe tie this match up before intermission? We are 8-10 away from that intermission break. Marshall trying to marshal this ball around now. They kick it up. Little scrum there. Lost track of the player for a moment, but now Fordham coming up with the ball, and the Rams will kick it ahead. Again, Fordham needs a little drive down the field here to give themselves an opportunity to maybe tie this match with 7:45 left in the opening half. Fordham close to it. Fathazda has it now. He'll kick it away, finding and approaching Ram, and that is Slaus. Picking it up now, Fathazda. Heavy-footed kick from Fathazda, but Marshall is down there with the header. But Fordham coming right back up with it. Now it looks like Marshall will control this ball with 7:20 left in the first half. And here come the Thundering Herd right along the far sideline now. Working that ball. They'll go ahead and slow up their advance like a big Army tank on the road, a muddy road, maybe slowing things up a bit, putting on those brakes. And Marshall with that intimidating slogan, their intimidating mascot team name of the Thundering Herd. They were thundering that time. And now it's Jan-Erik Leinhos. He'll spin it in his right hand. You see him there in the bottom portion of your screen, ready to go. Number 30 for Marshall. Closest to him defensively is Max Rogers for Fordham, standing close to the end in NCAA.
Fernandez coming in for Thundering Herd. And what you're going to see from Fordham here is, again, you don't want to give up another goal this late in the half, but you have to get something going offensively. Marshall has possessed the ball quite a bit in this first half, really controlled the pace of play. You know, the Rams are itching to try to get a shot on goal. Goalkeeper for the Herd, Simla, has not been tested thus far. Want to get a shot on goal just to test his mettle.
Fordham Had Slouse and Golden that time. And here's an opportunity for the Rams. Max Rogers is down there. Now another hard fall in a collision. One for each side going down that time. And another Marshall player is down. Able to hop up rather quickly that time was Alberto Pangrazi, number 9 for Fordham, but still down, but now working his way back up for Marshall. We get a better look now at the back of that jersey, and that's Max Schneider. Max Schneider from Cologne, Germany. Bridget, what you got?
Yeah, Corey, number 10 for the Rams, Samir Fadazada. He joined the Rams in 2018, and he has just found a way to have some dramatic moments with this team. He netted 3 game-winning goals in his first 2 seasons. He has added 3 more to start the stat sheet in 2021. His 3 game-winning goals put him in a tie for 11th in NCAA history. Fadazada has been pressing here on offense for the Rams, and it would be perfect for him and his stat sheet if he were able to net another one here and another game winner for that record.
Yeah, Bridget, Fadazada, thanks for the help there too on the pronunciation. But Fadazada, yeah, he's someone to watch here for Fordham. Most definitely. We've already seen the goal scored by Yosef, but what can Fadazada do the rest of the way? Right now it'll be Max Rogers. He's ready to go, and Rogers will get Fordham ready here for a penalty kick situation. Rogers, he can tie this game up if he can work out a successful free kick coming up. Not a penalty kick, a free kick coming up here now for Rogers. Thank you there in the truck. Rogers ready.
See Max Rogers here. Set up this free kick. Try to cross this to the far post, possibly for a header.
Rogers. Free kick. Rogers, look at that ball spin around. Some English on that ball, maybe also helped out by the blustering wind here today. You saw that ball curve right off to the right, kind of like a bad drive from off the tee. Maybe you get a little bit too much of a push on that drive, and that's exactly what the flight of that ball looked like that time off the foot from the free kick of Max Rogers. 5:18 in counting, first half. Still Marshall leading Fordham 1-0. Ball comes back in. Pursued by Rogers. Now finds its way back on top of the fence and kind of stuck between the fence and the trees. It'll be Simla to come and retrieve that ball. The first time we've actually seen a ball retrieved from the fence area so far this week. Simla not afraid to go back there and test out some of the wildlife. I wouldn't want to do that in another 2 months from now. You may encounter a copperhead. You may encounter a big grizzly bear or a big bear of some type of variety out there. I'd stay far away from it if I were Simla, but it's safe right now. We're only just getting into May. 4:39 to go. 1-0. Marshall. Simla kicks it around, postures, and boots it away now for Marshall and the Thundering Herd. They'll collect it, trying to extend their 1-0 advantage. Simla, he has it back again. All the onus on Simla now to control this ball at the midfield spot. Bounces around. Fordham trying to collect it. Ball coming back. The Rams have an opportunity here to score, but they got to get past Simla. Remember that. He is strong at goal. Recovered now by Fathazda. Fathazda sends it down. A header try. Bounces right back behind the net, close to the trees. Oh, boy. That was an opportunity there for Fordham with 4 minutes left. You have to admire the effort there, as Bridget just brought up, Fathazda to be able to get himself into a position. He went from many feet out to put that one in, at least giving them a opportunity to score for the Rams. Ball now will come in from the corner. Fathazada.
Yeah, corner kick there by the Rams. Nothing doing.
Rogers having to go to the opposite corner that time, Damon. He had to go on the run, and the ball rolls down the field a bit. 3:25 to go first half. Feels like for the moment, Marshall's 1-0 lead is safe as Simla will set it down and kick it away, and Marshall will make the pursuit back up the field.
Yeah, no lead is ever completely safe in soccer, as we saw in a lot of the matches so far this week. You could take your eye off of the field for a second, and then, boom, it's a goal being scored. So you want to remain focused. You want to keep your defense solid. If you're Marshall, you played great here in this first half and could take a 1-0 lead into the break, but you don't want to give up anything cheap and easy as the first half winds down.
That's right. You want to be careful. These final 2 minutes, 48 seconds remaining in the first half. You want to be careful to not allow anything if you're Marshall. Stand tall down there with Simla on the other side. Here is Jack Slouse for Fordham. What a big kick from Slouse. Puts it down there, and then maybe he'll get something to go. It rolls into the back of the goal, and that one scores, and Fordham is on the board. They tie this game 1-1 with Marshall. I saw Galen Flynn in there, but it wasn't Flynn who scored the goal. Looks like that was
eu ia aparecer agora para falar que
acabou
de acabar o primeiro tempo da Marquette e saiu esse gol aí também, né? Então, 1-1, praticamente acabando o primeiro tempo, ali vacila, faltando 2 minutos. E é isso, empate também, só para lembrar, na primeira rodada, no intervalo vou mostrar até alguns melhores momentos da primeira rodada, mas se empatar é prorrogação, 2 tempos de 10 minutos, com gol de ouro, fez, ganha. Se continuar empatado, vai para os pênaltis. Mesmo a Marshall estando ranqueada melhor do que a Fordham, se continuar empate, é pênalti. Fechado, então vou terminar, deixar aqui rodando. Quando terminar, entrar no intervalo, eu vou botar melhores momentos aí pra gente. Abraço, Felipe, aí do nosso grupo.
Got the ball in the scoring box. A lot of pressure on Simla. Players around him. Ball squirts to the middle of the goal to the back of the net. We're all tied up at 1-1.
Don't look now, but Fordham trying to get this ball right back. So it's Milo Yosef scoring a goal for Marshall here in the first half. And just a couple moments ago, Max Rogers for Fordham to tie it up, 1 goal apiece as we approach the 90-second remaining mark in the first half. So this is all kinds of exciting now. Not Marshall going into the break with a 1-goal advantage, but how about a tied-up game? Just like we started things just past 1 o'clock. Ball rolls. Marshall trying to collect it now. Here's an opportunity. Levine is there. Bounces right back to Levine. Marshall, they had the hands up thinking they may have scored a goal. This will still remain Thundering Herd ball, or will it? No. Fordham trying to get in there, but this is still alive for Marshall. Right around the far side now. Thundering Herd go. That one well kicked. And too far past Levine, but they had a close opportunity. Couldn't quite see who the player was there from Marshall. Close that time to Levine, but he actually sent it, Damian, right back to Levine, and it bounced right off Levine's chest up close towards his head. And it was fortunate for Levine to be in that right spot. If he had been maybe a foot, maybe to his right or his left, that probably would have been a goal for Marshall to put them back ahead. As it is, we stay tied 1-1 with 40 seconds left first half.
Ó, galera, é aquilo que eu falei. Agora presta atenção, o relógio tá até ali embaixo. Provavelmente eles não vão tirar até o final. O relógio vai rodar, na hora que chegar no 0 vai tocar uma buzina, um sinal, e aí o jogo acaba. Então não tem prorrogação, não tem acréscimos. E é isso, se tiver faltando aí 5 minutos vai ser bola na área e desespero. Mas aí, ó, 16, 15, e isso ainda tá dando pra trabalhar a bola. Já eles vão ter que botar lá dentro.
Amazing to get another goal after the brevity of goals so far this season for Rogers. 3 seconds and counting, 2 seconds and counting. That's it. 1 second remaining. It'll be wrapped up by Levine. That's the last defensive stop in the first half.
Vamos deixar só rodar pouco. Não sei se vai ter entrevista, algo assim. E aí já vou soltar os melhores momentos dos jogos anteriores, a primeira rodada. Então primeiro vou passar Omaha contra a University of North Carolina. O vencedor desse vai encarar hoje Stanford e acabou que Omaha classificou. Mas, enfim, deixa rodando um pouquinho já o solta o show do intervalo.
Copyrighted by the NCAA for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or any picture, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NCAA's consent is prohibited.
Number 32, Kyle Hornsby.
Inside the 30, touchdown. Michaela Burgess. Incredible finish by Hall.
The NCAA and its member schools offer nearly 500,000 college athletes a path to go pro in something other than sports. Learn more at ncaa.org.
Dear College Sports.
Ó, isso gostei da propaganda, exatamente o que a gente fala, mostrando aí que até pros americanos todo mundo tem já essa consciência, que se você não virar profissional, você ainda pode virar um doutor, arquiteto, empresário, totalmente diferente aqui do Brasil. A gente vê as pessoas batalhando, se não virar jogador de futebol, a gente não sabe nem o que essa pessoa tem pro futuro dela. Então, Legal mostrar isso. Propagandas da própria NCAA falando sobre isso. Aí, vou aproveitar que saiu agora, vou botar os melhores momentos de Omaha contra University of North Carolina.
In North Carolina, one of them will stand alone as a national champion in 2 weeks. That journey begins tonight for these two teams in Greensboro, North Carolina. It's hometown UNCG Spartans against the Omaha Mavericks. And we are underway with UNCG as they will have possession to start things off. Kamatani on the run, heading towards the area, sends the cross in, and there's Wild with a dive, able to snuff out that Maverick effort. Taken by Ayats towards the far side post and wide. Ball there, and it's taken away. This could be dangerous. This is Ed Port. Port is a 6-yard box, sends it back. The shot and a goal. Neil Ayats after the turnover. The Mavericks make them pay, and Omaha strikes first with 13:18 to go in the first half for NCAA tournament goals. They went goalless against FIU in 2017. Cross in, looking to answer. That's well over. Corner sent in, bunch of heads at it. Collum trying to knock it down. He can't. And a foul on UNCG will give it back to the Mavericks. Osman goes for goal, just wide. It might have been deflected a little bit by Pollard. He got a piece of it. Simbomaden, Kamatani for goal, just wide. Oh boy, you can see the hearts.
The stuff by Kamatani to get free.
And he gets free again. Kamatani, it's in. Hugo Kamatani doubles the score. His 8th goal this season. Omaha on the counter has made this a little bit more of a mountain to climb after they weren't even in the field last Monday. Could have something going here. Ball is centered, and the Spartans answer. Nacho. Now Osman. Osman goes for goal. He scores! Monty Osman has equalized for UNCG.
Omaha taking all its time.
Free kick on the way. Kamatani! A remarkable finish off the free kick. Off the head and into the goal. Well, Omaha has taken this second chance, and they have won their first NCAA tournament game, winning virtually on the road to defeat UNCG by the score of 3-2.
Pô, galera, agora eu vou deixar aí até voltar, acho que eles devem mostrar algo de melhores momentos, enfim, eles estão com a transmissão lá deles, mas é isso. Felipe aqui tá perguntando quanto que tá o jogo, tá 0-0 da Marquette e 1-0 o jogo da Marshall, 1-0 Marshall contra Fordham. Enfim, 1-1, quer dizer, né? Empatou no final. O jogo da Fordham e Marshall atacando muito mais até fazer o gol, o Fordham defendendo, depois tiveram que sair, mas sair do jeito deles. Eu falei que ia ser um time muito mais de ligação direta, um time alto, um time forte fisicamente, então iriam jogar assim a Fordham e a Marshall jogando muito mais com a bola no chão. No jogo da Marquette, que eu estava acompanhando por fora, ia mostrar os gols, mas não saiu nenhum gol, tá jogo mais aberto. A Marquette no final conseguiu pegar um pouco mais a posse de bola, mas a LMU acabou tendo maior posse de bola, tendo mais chances, mas a Marquette está segurando como pode e tentando buscar alguma coisa. Então, vou soltar aí, quando voltar o segundo tempo a gente continua, beleza?
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Wilson, North Carolina for the second round of the NCAA men's soccer tournament happening here all across the state of North Carolina. Right here in Wilson, we have Fordham and Marshall tied at 1 as we head into the second half. Earlier this week, I had the opportunity to talk with Marshall head coach, Coach Grossi, and he, of course, is a soccer coach, but also might have a spot as a motivational speaker after his career on the field ends. He told me that everything that's been going on this year has been a challenge. We've talked about this all week long: social justice, COVID, mental health issues, dealing with everyone dealing with those across the country. And he said, if you look at his team like a soccer ball, right? If you look at all the different areas on the ball, he says his team represents that. He says they're from all different places around the world. He has a very diverse team. He says diversity is one of their strong suits, and everyone from every side of the soccer ball brings a different perspective. But he says eventually, if you keep turning the soccer ball, you're going to get to that other perspective. You're going to be able to see the way some people are thinking. And he says they've had tough conversations when COVID first started. He said they were getting a lot of different advice from parents who were doctors, lawyers. They talked it through and they made their decision. It was a scary decision in the fall to go home. And he said they've been able to look at things from different angles, and that's how they do it on the field too. They play very much that way on the soccer field. He says they're very open to opinions. They represent so many different countries, cultures, and races, and ultimately that makes them as a better team and not just individuals.
Yep. Thanks, Bridget. It was great there using the soccer ball as well to illustrate that, to keep turning that soccer ball and being able to see how as you turn, kind of like as the world turns, as the soccer ball turns, it's going to be different people from different walks of life all around the world. And it's just amazing how the soccer ball can become almost an analogy for teamwork. Just saw and heard from Bridget Condon, the always reliable third member of our team. We're back here underneath the tent in the broadcast staging area. Corey Hodges, Damian Banks, and the entire team ready to go here for the second half, D, and all nodded. 1-1, Fordham and Marshall. A goal for Max Rogers for Fordham. Milo Yosef, the goal for Marshall. We've had a little bit of everything so far. Some falls down to the field, physical play, 1 goal apiece. Second half setting up just like we began the first half, all tied. It started at 0-0. Now it's 1-1. What you got, buddy?
Yeah, Yosef Milo scored that goal for the Thundering Herd, and Marshall really controlled the pace of play, possessed the ball quite a bit there in the first half. Looked like the Thundering Herd were going to take that 1-0 lead to the halftime break. But I said it, if you're Marshall, you want to remain focused. Don't let up. Don't give up anything cheap or easy. Fordham was able to get into that backline defense of the Thundering Herd, get into that scoring box. A little bit of a scrum in front of the goalkeeper for the Thundering Herd in Levine, and that ball snuck right through him for the game-tying goal just before the first half break.
Yeah, it's the lone goal so far, 1 for each side. Looks like it'll still be Simla in at goal for Marshall, and Josh Levine there for Fordham as we're backing away here from J. Burt Gillette in Wilson, North Carolina, working towards the 2:30 hour here on a Sunday with the wind continuing to whip around. But the blue sunny skies with a sweeping smattering of clouds setting the stage here today for our visual candy, if you will. A lot of candy back here in the broadcast area, as always, from you, Damian. But, you know, we've been treated to the visual candy this week with this beautiful, beautiful setting, as Marshall has it now.
Oh, I got to have my candy, man. Life is sweet, so I need my candy.
Here we go. We take over now with play-by-play coverage. Marshall. Thundering Herd. Little scrum, little meeting between the two. Fordham back to it. Who's got it underneath their feet? It's Delatoglu. Now on the move, Marshall coming back. There's Milo Yosef. Yosef, who scored that first goal in the opening half, sends it away, but it's Levine there to scoop it up.
Yeah, Fordham with that late first half goal to even the score. Let's see how they carry that momentum over to the second half of this match. Marshall has to refocus their efforts and try to put their stamp back on this match.
That's right. Yeah, it's kind of what we're looking at now. Who's going to be the next team to take the lead? It was Marshall who started things first, but Fordham was not too far behind. Here goes Marshall now trying to put themselves in a position. Ball ricocheting around between a couple different players for the Thundering Herd. Now they're back to it. Who's got it now? Looks like for Marshall, that was Kiernan. Took a high, heavy bounce, and now Nathan Dos Santos kicked up by Fordham. Kind of lost there in the spin around from Valentine. Tracked down for Fordham, and someone took a whack there from Marshall. Now secured for Fordham by Flynn. Flynn, who received a yellow card back in the first half. Ball is loose and tracked down by Fordham. Now just getting going, 42-25 remaining in regulation. Plenty of time, just starting the second half, as again, those papers go flying. Windy. All right, here's Marshall now. Thundering Herd from right at midfield, losing track of the ball, now having to get it back. This one's going to be contained for the moment by the goalie, Simla. Marshall ahead, met by Milo Yosef. Yosef had to put the foot up high to control it. Now Yosef will take a little frantic effort there, and it flies over the goal, and Levine watching it sail like a ship on the ocean.
Yeah, Yosef controlled that one, brought it down, got a shot off just way too high to put any type of pressure on Levine to try to come up with the stop.
Back to some stats from the first half, Damian. And you look at 2 saves for Josh Levine on the Fordham side for Marshall. No save so far for Simla. He'll look to get into that stat as we proceed on.
Only 1 shot on goal from Fordham in the first half, and it resulted in a goal late in that half. So Simla didn't have much work there in the first half and seemed to be caught off guard and by surprise by that late goal.
Yeah, it kind of did take him out of his focus a little bit, and the goal happened late in the first half as it was Rogers to put it through. Here is Marshall, kicked by, looks like that time that was Gabriel Alves that time, now to be controlled by Simla. Simla putting it back in the direction of Marshall. They'll take over now from, the doorstep of the midfield line, if you will. This one rocketed away. It's Milo Yosef down there. Yosef getting a header to try to get it back to himself, trying to bounce that ball right back to his playing position.
Fala, galera. Segundo tempo já começou. Tinha parado aqui rapidinho para comer. Tô sem almoçar até agora. Mas tô de volta. Voltou aqui. Voltou na Marquette também. Tudo continua igual. Tava assistindo, mas não tava falando. O Luiz perguntou se estava 2-1. Não, era o início do meio tempo, né? Do intervalo. Que a Fordham bateu. Então é isso. Continua 1-1. Marshall e Fordham. E 0-0 Marquette e LMU. Marquette já está com 5 minutos jogados. 10 minutos jogados, na verdade. E o da Marshall está em torno de 7, 8 minutos, acredito eu.
Marshall corrals.
É isso, deixar rodando. O Pedrão com a bola, Pedro com o Gabriel, Pedro pro Vitor. Vou virar o Galvão Bueno.
Rolling ball.
Mas enfim, viu que a bola trabalha muito bem no chão quando chega nos brasileiros. Ó, Vini pro Pedro, Pedro pro Vitor Dias.
Back further away from the goal. Still loose.
O Jamie Roberts, esse é o que foi draftado.
Look at the tussle, the one-on-one battle. Finds its way
Chegou
back
no Pedro.
to Dolabella.
Vou deixar rodando o jogo aqui, terminar de comer e já volto. Lembrando também, galera, que às 6 horas, horário daqui, vai ter o jogo da UCF, que eu vou tentar transmitir também. O jogo da Pittsburgh e o jogo da Virginia Tech já vão passar no YouTube, então não tem para que transmitir. Mas o jogo da UCF não vai ser no YouTube, aí eu vou transmitir mais tarde. Fechado?
Tied up over there. The flag goes down as
James,
well.
não,
Flynn battling with Gabriel Alves. We'll go to Bridget.
J-A-M-I-L. Foi draftado pelo Sporting Kansas City. Só que eles liberaram ele de jogar dessa última temporada. Terminando agora os Nationals, ele já vai direto pro Sporting Kansas City, da MLS. Valeu, galera. Já volto aí.
At a family event, and that worked out well for the McNamaras. With the win in the Atlantic 10 Championship, senior Luke McNamara added the one piece of bragging rights he did not have with his fellow family members. Luke is the youngest of 3 brothers, joining Mike and Greg to play Fordham soccer, which came after their father James played for the Rams back in 1980. He played from 1980 to 1984. Both Mike and Greg were a part of the Rams' 2014 A10 Championship team, while James was won on 2 MAC regular season championship games in 1981 and 1982.
Yes. Starts in the family, sometimes stays in the family. Damian, Bridget just talking about a couple players who, their father played soccer. So it kind of transitions down. You see so often sons taking over for their father. It happened especially in athletics as Marshall goes after it.
Yeah, family affair, to say the least, a family of champions. The father, the brothers, and now Luke adding a championship ring and trophy to the mantle. Those are, I'm sure, intense and crazy bragging right discussions at the dinner table whenever they get together. Outstanding athleticism within that family.
Oh, look at the slide that time for Fordham. And that was Alberto Pangrazzi. Pangrazzi sliding down to the green grass of home like he's sliding towards making his own green jacket. There's one green jacket you can win. How about getting some green on those burgundy and white tops for Fordham? Rams control. Kicked into play by Fathazda. And here is Simla. Keep shaking your head, but I'm going to keep trying. Simla putting it back down. Here's Marshall. Marshall away. Thundering Herd on the move.
Yeah, again, anytime Marshall gets possession of the ball, they take their time. They're methodical, not in a rush to do anything, just trying to find the right mix of passing and dribbling to try to carve up that backline defense of Fordham to get a shot on goal. You don't have to go fast in order to be effective in the game of soccer.
36:09 left. Knotted at one. Marshall. 3-player show right now for the Thundering Herd. Finding it back to Dos Santos.
Again, slow dribbling up the pitch, being methodical in their possession, not taking any undue risk or the Thundering Herd.
Here goes Marshall. Rolling ball. Bounces past Levine. Tried to get a header in there to maybe attack it from the side. Ball comes back down, but that's after the whistle had already sounded.
See, Thundering Herd took their time dribbling it around their back line and eventually matriculated up the pitch and got a decent cross to the far post. Just a little bit too high for the header attempt.
Levine will place it. Trying to get that running start. Levine away. Clears midfield easily. Met with a header there by Fordham that time. Now the Rams. Up ahead. Just able to keep that ball away. Look at the physical play. No, it went out right at the end. That was Florian Delatoglu that time. And Delatoglu trying to glue his foot to the ball that time to keep it from rolling out. Was I close, Damian?
You were close, partner.
Okay.
It's a lot of international flavor on both of these squads. So pardon and excuse us if we mispronounce any of the players' names. No disrespect to the players who are putting in a tremendous amount of effort on the field as they entertain us with the game of soccer.
That ball spin around that time. You can see the English on it visually. Gabriel Alves on it. Now Marshall. 34 minutes and counting. But everything is slowing down a bit because of the tie game. It would be a little bit different maybe if this were still 1-0 Marshall over Fordham. As it is, both teams right back into this one. You can see over there on the side, that's Milo Yosef, who has scored the lone goal so far today for Marshall. Yosef was right there in the middle of it, maybe even starting a little mini burst here for the Thundering Herd. And 2 players getting close. Marshall still has command of this ball. Fordham, though, stepping right in front of it that time, as that was Sebastian Fabrin who was there. Marshall still has control of the ball. They have it now with Kiernan, and that ball is booted away. It'll be controlled by Levine. Levine had to watch it. That was close that time, as Levine, he had to stare it down from the goal and then work out to his right, our left, to control it.
And Marshall putting a little bit of pressure on that back defense of Fordham. Levine getting off of his spot, getting to that ball. If you're a young goalkeeper, you got to know when to get off your spot and get that ball out of harm's way. Levine did just that on that possession.
Okay. Levine will place it down. Simla at goal. And Josh Levine. A couple substitutions coming in. We'll wait for those. You see the nearby official there to Josh Levine. Max Rogers scoring a goal for Fordham at the 43-minute mark, a couple minutes before we reached the halftime period. And it was Milo Yosef at the 25-minute mark who scored that opening goal for Marshall. Rogers and Yosef. And here is Milo Yosef now for Marshall. That'll go back to Levine. Yosef is finding his way in there slowly but surely, and it didn't take him too long. Only took him about halfway through that opening period to finally get one to go in the back of the net, and he seems to be right there on a number of offensive chances. Here comes Fordham now. Fordham past the midfield line, kicks around. Rams will still control. They get a little boot that time from Fathazda, and now rolls. Getting close. Fordham with a player there near it. That'll be Simla to watch it go. Rolling past, and Marshall will corral it as they get Roberts there to move it past that logo on the field. Kicked around. Fordham, though, getting back in control of it, and this is Galen Flynn. Flynn, he's got all eyes on Simla. Flynn trying to connect. That one bounces high as Flynn trying to hook up that time with a teammate. Looked like that was Gianluca Scurantino, or check that, no, that was Alberto Pangrazzi that time that was trying to be the beneficiary of what would have been a nice assist, Damian, but not to be. The ball sailed a bit.
Yeah, Flynn with the cross in the middle of the box, finding Pangrazzi, got a boot on it, just couldn't connect for a goal, but Fordham is going to continue to put pressure on the defense of the Thundering Herd with this corner kick.
That's right. Coming in from the corner now for Fordham, and that's Jacob Bohm. Bohm, the 5'10 senior from Berlin, Germany. Bohm. Away it goes from the corner. Who meets it first? It will be Marshall. They got to head it. Boom. So now, yeah, that was Boom that time in from the corner. Boom with a booming corner kick. Now Fordham to get right back to it in the Rams.
I see what you did there.
You got it. Yeah, it doesn't take much to figure me out. Jacob Boom now. He'll boom this one away. Bounces off the head of a Marshall player. Now recovered by Samir. And
I got your partner, Fathazada.
Samir Fathazada that time. What would I do without you, Damian?
Corey, I'm gonna give you something to help you figure this one out, and you'll be able to get it for the rest of the game. Like, I'm from Boston, so instead of father, we say father. My father. So it's just Father Zada. Father za, like pizza. And then da, like a baby's first word, da. Father Zada.
Hey, Bridget, that is wicked nice of you. Father Zada.
Yep, you better not mess it up again, or I'm coming back there.
I know, right? I don't want to
with the assist.
I don't want to mess with Bridget. That's right, Father Zada. Watch me boink it up again later on. Hopefully not. Thank you, Bridget, for that's the assist right there for sure. Here comes Marshall now. The Thundering Herd with a player close to it, and that's Jamil Roberts. Roberts working with a teammate, but that teammate got tripped up. Couldn't quite see the number. Looked like that was Vitor Diaz that time, and it was for Marshall. Marshall's Diaz taking a spill.
Is going to be possession for...
Isso, Vitor Diaz deu uma pedalada ali, achei que foi pênalti, né?
Diaz.
Bola passou aqui, pelo que eu vi, o pé do cara ficou, mas pênalti difícil de juiz lá dar também. Alguns jogos do college, só como curiosidade, estava sendo VAR, mas no National, acho que por ter vários estádios diferentes, tendo jogos, eles não conseguiram botar. Talvez no Final Four ou na final tenha, né? Mas por enquanto não. Mas fica aí a polêmica, eu achei que podia ter dado. E o Rafael perguntou se a gente vai transmitir o jogo da UCF. A gente está pretendendo, só tem que ver como vai estar a logística de estar aqui com a internet boa e tudo mais, mas começa às 6 horas, acredito que a gente consegue sim. Valeu, vou deixar rodando mais o jogo um pouco aqui. O jogo da Marquette segue 0-0 também, os dois jogos indo para a prorrogação por enquanto.
That was Marshall again, close quarter dribbling, finding Milo Yosef. Yosef Could not connect with his boot on the ball to try to get a decent shot on goal. But again, still put pressure on that backline defense of Fordham up to the test.
Let's go back to Bridget.
Yeah, Corey, you can see the coaches on Marshall's bench super heated about that non-call earlier in the game. And it's funny to see the coaches so frustrated. Obviously, tied 1-1, it's a serious game, brings a different kind of attitude. But when I talked with Coach Grassi earlier this week, he told me that on the bus, the guys are really, he says they're always laughing, always joking, always having fun. He said, if you show up late to get on the bus, the team actually makes you sing a song. You can pick the song. I asked if, the team picks or the person who's late picks. He says, you can pick whatever song you want to sing, but you're either going to get booed off the bus or you're going to get applauded. So he says he makes sure not to be late ever when he gets on the bus.
Ooh, you know what? That brings up a great little idea. Bridget just talking about, Damien, how there will be a penalty for Coach DeGrazzi for Marshall. If a player's late getting onto the bus, they are forced to sing a song. Wow. If they're late. Just imagine on Tuesday or the 300 other times in my life I've been late to a broadcasting event. If I were forced to sing a song, I'd be my throat would be more sore than it is right now.
Wow, I would love to play for Coach Grassi. When I played, if I was late, the bus was leaving. They weren't waiting for you. So hats off to Coach Grassi for at least hanging around for his guys, and just, the form of punishment is singing. Now, I don't have a great singing voice, but hey, I'd take that over being left and stranded in a foreign city any day.
Think about the fun, though, because we've talked about all game that this team is from all over the country. So it's like different languages, different pop songs, and you never know what you're going to get.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you don't know what type of song, what type of genre is going to come up as we pick it back up. I feel like maybe Fly Me to the Moon may be one of mine. I'll stick to that one if I remember all the lyrics correctly.
Fly you to the moon?
Fly me to the moon.
Yeah, please stop.
Okay. All right, here's Marshall now as we're back to serious action. 26-34 remaining. Still tied at 1, Marshall and Fordham. Look at Joseph in there again offensively for the Thundering Herd, trying to get involved. He already has 1 goal scored in this match. Can he get something else? The next goal will be the one to put the team that scores it ahead. Here's Marshall now to track it down with Vinicius Fernandez. Fernandez still has it. Big number 8 there on your screen. He'll kick that one clear. Didn't like anything in front of him. And now Marshall will try to set up another attack. Still peering. Those striped jerseys make it tough to discern the number at times, but we are doing our best, especially when they work far away from our broadcasting position. The eyes squinting and working harder than ever. May have to get a new set of glasses after this one, or at least go back for my yearly eye exam. Here's Marshall now to boot it around. That one's going back to Fordham. Joseph was there close to it. My crow's feet may show up early after this one. He said you're not supposed to get them until 40, but I may get them at 30. Here's Fordham now. Fordham trying to line something up. Looks like that's Rogers maybe that time for Fordham, trying to get a better look, or maybe Sloan there. Check that. That's Leonard Kesner, number 7 on your screen, Kesner. The ball's still live and loose here for Fordham, and now it's not. Marshall will take control of this ball. Got kind of bungled up there close to the far sideline. Ball will be tracked down by a Marshall player and put back into play with 25-10 remaining and still tied at 1.
You got a throw in here by the Thundering Herd. Both teams getting after it here in the second half. Understand the moment, tied up at 1. Next goal will put a lot of pressure on the opponent, whoever scores that goal. So don't want to make any mistakes here if you're on the defensive side of either squad.
A header to meet it, now a footer and a big high kick as well. Looks like Marshall will try to control the ball now. That's a big kick down the field, and Marshall will get a player to catch up to it. Kind of spins under the feet now of Vinicius Fernandez. Fernandez gets rid of it. It'll be scooped up by Dos Santos. Now kicked away by Dolapella. An effort that goes past Levine at goal. Just not quite enough that time for Marshall. They were down there close, but it feels like you have to get in close to the main goal-scoring box there as Marshall is pushed back towards that outer box. And that's not really the ideal scoring location. You can see at that time where the ball seems to sail a bit, kind of gets a little squirrely. You want to be in closer. That way you don't have to work so much with that foot finesse to be able to try to get yourself a goal. 24 minutes and counting, still knotted at 1 goal apiece. Fordham and Marshall. Fordham now, the Rams will control it and boot it down the field off the foot of Jack Sluice. And Slouse, check that, Slouse. And now it kind of rolls back down in front of Sloan. And Sloan will send it away, and Fordham will track it down now into Marshall territory. As always, we have flipped sides of the field ever since the first half came to a conclusion. Here is Milo Yosef. It's not hard to figure out Yosef with the different shaded hair atop his head. You can see it from a distance, and Yosef making himself very apparent in this match as he has scored the lone one for Marshall. Now the Thundering Herd working the other way. They've got an opportunity here. Yosef, Milo Yosef will control. Yosef already has a goal. He'll give this one away to a teammate. And the Thundering Herd trying to set themselves up with 23:07 to go in.
Ó, galera, vou soltar aqui esse quase gol que a Marquette fez agora. Tentei voltar aqui para pegar o tempo certo. Já volto para o jogo da Marshall. Não dava para voltar exatamente para o lance, mas olha esse gol que o atacante da Marquette perdeu. Dava para ter aberto o placar e tá já bem encaminhado. Deixa eu botar aqui o áudio.
Teammates with the current Marquette keeper. Chandler Hall.
Mas olha essa chance que eles perderam agora.
Now a chance perhaps for Marquette. This one crossed in and a run and a save. The rebound goes off the crossbar and Jackson thwarts it.
E é o atacante que está sendo freshman, revelação do país, né? Então complicado ter perdido esse gol, né? Azar também, pegou no goleiro, pegou na trave. Mas é isso. Marquette quase abriu o placar. Vou voltar aqui para o jogo da Marshall.
On the move, time for Levine to get ready, but that one rolled out first. Levine not tested that time as the ball too much of a roll.
Olha, o jogo da Marshall faltando 21 minutos para acabar, já passou da metade do segundo tempo. E é isso, seguimos 0-0 na Marquette e 1-1 aqui. O da Marquette faltam 19 minutos para acabar também.
Yeah, Bridget, what you got?
Yeah, Corey, Fordham, Marshall tied right now 1-1 with still some time to play. But right now, Fordham, they haven't lost this season. Remember, they're entering the NCAA championship as one of 4 teams in the tournament without a loss. But it's not the only time they've ever been undefeated. This is the second time in program history they've completed a regular season with an unbeaten record. The first time they did it, guys, their inaugural season back in 1952, they finished with an 11-0-1 record. Imagine that. You start a program and you go undefeated your first year. Kind of stinks. It's probably only down from there, but they've found a way to get back to that inaugural season record this year.
Yeah, it's a nearby Barton College with their football program starting football again for the first time in over 70 years, and now you've got.
E agora o jogo tá totalmente ataque contra a defesa, né? A Fordham não tem um jogador na frente da linha de meio campo. Acho que eles estão bem concentrados em levar para prorrogação, tentar achar uma bola ali ou até os pênaltis já direto, né? Mas largaram de jogar totalmente mesmo. E ó, chegando ali pelo Milo e não conseguiu tocar certo.
Getting that one clear, and of course, remember, Levine is back there defensively. Marshall, they know where to go with it.
E a Marshall é aquele jogo, né? Circulando a área, mas também não consegue entrar. Teve o lance do pênalti do Vitor Dias, né? Que o juiz não deu, achei que foi. E eles estão tentando infiltrar muito pelo meio, né? Às vezes conseguindo levar a bola mais para a ponta e reclamaram de uma mão agora. Esse juiz tá complicado pelo jeito. É isso, no finalzinho do primeiro e do segundo tempo eu volto aqui pra gente comentar o final. Tomara que não chegue no desespero, né? Podia fazer um gol por agora e controlar a partida, o resto do jogo, mas tá tendendo a ser algo mais dramático mesmo.
Like it may be some substitutions. Fordham, again, first half didn't do much offensively. Then all of a sudden, towards the end of the half, coming
Olha,
up
aquilo que eu falei também, galera. Quando tem substituição, principalmente no final do jogo, ele faltando 19 minutos, o juiz pode travar o tempo. Então, aquela catimba brasileira, sair substituindo andando, lá não adianta muito. O relógio tá parado, então o cara pode sair devagar que for, que não muda nada. Caio César tá se candidatando para comentarista. Ó, próximo jogo a gente pode botar alguém para comentar aqui junto. A gente entra outra pessoa, pegar algum atleta que tá nos Estados Unidos, acho que pode ser uma também. Caio César é meu parceiro, vai entrar de comentarista com certeza.
Marshall picks it up. Pretty good placement that time for Simla. But now Fordham right in the middle of the action, coming back up with it. There's Joseph over there defensively, almost losing his balance, now getting right back up. Ball rolls. Fordham will let Levine control.
Levine clears that away.
Good header meet there from Marshall. Bounces it back, trying to give themselves an opportunity close to midfield. Marshall now trying to take this back over, and they will. Soars down, picked up by Alves. Now lost off the foot of Vinicius Fernandez.
A little bit of miscommunication there by Marshall off that one touch. Ball out of bounds over to Fordham.
Levine with under 18 to go. Knotted at one.
Again, you see Levine directing where he wants his teammates to go as he clears this ball out. And Fordham, not a lot going on as far as being aggressive on offense here in the second half. Not a lot of time spent in Marshall's backline defense. So Marshall, again, controlling the pace of play, but Fordham, when given the opportunity, they can strike. One shot on goal, one goal for Fordham.
Defender slipped. Here's Savas Cristoforo. Cristoforo was kind of over there on his own and gave himself an opportunity, but it was really because that falling defender for Marshall that Cristoforo was in a position to have to work it in from the side. Not the desired angle, though. But this will be Max Rogers now to kick it in from the corner. Rogers scoring the goal for Fordham. The lone goal thus far in this tied-up match. Time not exactly into the panic territory yet, but over the next 7 minutes, we'll get there. Once we get under 10 minutes to play this match, and the intensity will ratchet up. As you see some of the fans back there at the picnic pavilion, shaded in shade, of course. And you've got one fan there kind of sitting out, maybe getting a little bit of extra sun as Rogers gets ready now from the corner. But it really is perfectly made here, set up at J. Burt Gillette Athletic Complex here in Wilson, Damien, to bring your family out. We've seen a lot of that so far this week, and you can take advantage of the grills there. You can bring a pack of hot dogs, some hamburgers. Come on out and have yourself a great day on a Sunday, bud.
Yeah, great weather out here. If you love the sun, if you want to just bring the kids out and enjoy the weather, you can do that. If you want to enjoy high-level college soccer, you can do that. We got it all for you here in Wilson.
Oh. City of beautiful trees, and they certainly are beautiful. Rogers from the corner. Track down for Fordham. Looked like that was Sloan that time. Far side. Sloan stepped out. Marshall pointing it out as well. And this will be Fordham ball as the Rams will get set to toss it in. High over the head, and it comes. Met with a header initially for Marshall. Bounces back down. Joseph close to it, as was Slaus. Again, takes an inopportune bounce towards the grandstand seating. Fordham now pushed back a little bit more. They'll have to start from inside their own territory. Now moving well past the midfield line, and there's another physical play. Contact made, and a Fordham Ram hits the deck.
See a player down on the pitch. Let's hope he's okay. Getting down to crunch time here. Last 16 minutes of the second half, tied at 1-1. Teams do not want to make a mistake and give up a late goal. But you still want to be aggressive offensively for both squads.
Yeah, players still down there for Fordham, waiting to get a look at it. See who that is for the Rams, but here we are with the clock paused. Let's go to Bridget. We'll go to commercial.
Enquanto estão atendendo o atleta lá da Fordham, deixar rolando o jogo da Marquette. Agora a LMU tá pressionando bem eles. Então, ixi, eu tô pra fora. Mas é isso, perderam aquele gol, chance mais clara do jogo, agora estão tomando uma pressão, faltando 12 minutos para acabar. Vou deixar rodando aqui um pouco, tô de olho. O cara lá da Ford ainda tá sendo atendido, então deixa rodando por aqui. Acho que já é tipo, terceiro ou quarto escanteio seguido da LMU, tá? Uma pressão bem pesada. Olha, a Marquette tenta sair, mas, sei lá, o time tá parecendo cansado. Tem que lembrar que a Marquette, dos 11 jogos dela da temporada regular, 8 jogos foram para prorrogação. Então a Marquette tá acostumada a jogar prorrogação, mas é aquilo. Pode ser perigoso. Voltou aqui o jogo da marcha, eu vou voltar lá. Espera aí.
We'll set it up between Musinos and DeSantos. DeSantos has it, kicks it away. Musinos back with it, now DeSantos. Under control now, the feet of Fernandez. Ball goes back. Here's an opportunity. Ricochets off the foot of a Fordham defender. Now the Rams on the move with Lennart Kesner. Kesner continues to move down the field. Kesner got tripped up. Play continues, though. And you hear the sideline. The fans here. Kesner that time thought maybe he would have a clean open burst down the field, but Marshall was there to defend him. 14-17 left. Again, not quite to panic time yet, but we're getting there. A couple more minutes, and again, that intensity is going to go through the roof, Damian. I see you've got to let out an exhale there as well. Here's a chance. That one flies by. Levine was ready for it. This will stay Marshall ball. And Marshall now will posture. Here's Milo Yosef. Yosef on it. Did he keep it in bounds? It's awfully close. Yosef goes down, and Fordham takes it away. That time from Savas Cristoforo. Ball bounces. Marshall trying to collect it. Another player going down now for Marshall. Play continuing on. Clock keeps rolling. That player for Marshall still down. And the clock will continue to tick. We saw 2 collisions there, Damian, with play going on. That Thundering Herd player now gets a hand up upon closer inspection. That's Nathan DeSantos. And there's Yosef. You're pointing at him there on the screen, Damian. Yosef coming back in. That was physical right there on the edge.
Yeah, Yosef went down first. Looked like he took a knee to the head as he went to the ground. And one of Fordham's players, not quite sure who that was just trying to run to get to the ball, may have incidentally got a knee to the head. Hope he's okay, but he's up and walking. Looks like he's fine, but the intensity has picked up. Players understand, hey, time's winding down. We want to get out of here in regulation, possibly. You want to try to score the game-winning goal.
Here's Levine to lay it down.
Some people enjoy overtime soccer. Some people enjoy full-time soccer. I'm more the full-time soccer
Right.
type of guy.
You are, yeah. You prefer regulation. Well, last night we almost went to overtime before Minta for Georgetown got the winning goal with under a minute to go. That was the big highlight of our Saturday night. Almost a collision. In fact, it was, as Jack Slouse that time coming near his defender. Marshall to throw it in. 13-12 and counting, still knotted at one. Marshall in the advantageous spot down here as they'll be able to put this ball into play already pretty well past the midfield line. Marshall on the move now. Kicked around past the referee. Marshall will pick it back up. They'll go ahead and clear this one away. A header bounce off the head of Gabriel Alves, and that one will fly over Levine, and Fordham will watch it go towards the corner flag.
Yeah, cross shot towards the far post, just a bit high. You can see not a lot of action offensively for either team. Now, Marshall has possessed the ball, but hadn't had really any shots on goal to speak of here in the second half, and neither has Fordham, but the same thing could be said about the first half, and it ended in that 1-1 tie. Both teams getting limited shots on goal, but making it count.
Limited shots, but the opportunities when they have been there, when they have been close, both Marshall and Fordham have been able to get a goal, one goal each. Bouncing ball right at the midfield line. Marshall controlling. Close defender for Fordham, Fadazada. Rolls, picked up by DeSantos. DeSantos stepping on it. Now kicking it clear. From right at the midfield spot. Marshall trying to set it up. Clock moving. 11:37 and counting. DeSantos sending it away. Tracked down by Marshall on the far side. Defender close is Fadazada. Fadazada shadowing that Marshall player. Can't get a great look at it there, but now it will be Fadazada to get in front of it, and Fordham trying to take this ball right back. That was all Samir Fadazada that time defensively, and now Fordham on the push, on the burst. Here come the Rams up in front of it, but got kicked away. Closest to it was Delatoglu that time, and fortunately for Simla at goal, that one was kicked away clear, and he just had to come out to corral it. And now Marshall will come the other way as we near the 10-minute remaining mark in regulation, and the Thundering Herd trying to take a late lead if they can and break this deadlock with overtime possibly looming, but plenty of time left, especially in soccer time with 10:44 remaining. Here is DeSantos. DeSantos, again, steps on it to gain traction on that ball. Maybe uses the cleat as well to corral the ball, to step on the ball, to make the ball his and put himself in a good position. Here's Milo Yosef. Yosef there as well. Yosef kind of got this break started. Here's a scoring opportunity. Look at Levine come out and stop it for Fordham. Ball bounces to Yosef. Yosef able to control it. Now it'll be Fordham to track it down with Brandon Golden. Golden there, clears it away. Two tangle up. Now it'll be Fordham to get it there with Fadazada. Fadazada making a big statement. Also there is Milo Yosef. And Yosef, who scored the lone goal for Marshall in the first half, responsible for the only goal so far for the Thundering Herd there to take control. Yosef is close to it. He'll get it back now and steer it away. Here's an opportunity for Marshall. The Thundering Herd will send it past Levine. One player goes falling for Marshall as well, and another scoring opportunity. A heartbeat moment again, and a big breath taken by Levine at goal for Fordham.
Yeah, heck of a stop on that previous possession by Levine. Came off of his spot, anticipating that shot on goal to deflect it away on that one. The header for the Thundering Herd just a bit outside that near right post.
Levine clears it away. Oh, that's a nice kick. Went well past the midfield line. It's up for the feet, and Marshall is there. Tracking it down is Gabriel Alves. Alves right at midfield. Sends it away. Secured by Fernandez. Rolling now to the far side for Marshall. Under 9 minutes to play in regulation. Ball rolls and bounces and picked up by DeSantos. check that. That is DeSantos there. You see him, number 6 on your screen for Marshall. DeSantos not liking anything there, so send it back to the midfield stripe, and they'll go ahead and let Simla control this. Now get it back to DeSantos with 8:35 to play. Nathan DeSantos, a big part of the offense. Now he gives it up to Fernandez. Fernandez still on the move, clears him. An opportunity, but Levine again has to stand and be ready for it. But the ball flew away. Closer to it, looked like Jamil Roberts that
It'll
time.
be a yellow card.
Okay. Yeah, yellow card coming out. You see the card displayed. Official coming by close to Marshall's side. And they'll talk with head coach Chris Grassi. 2 officials close to Grassi now.
The official was adamant about the yellow card when he pulled it, but as he got closer to Coach Grassi for the Thundering Herd, looked like he copped a plea and wanted to try to explain things to Coach Grassi. Still not sure what that situation was all about.
Here is Simla. Simla collects and sends Marshall on their way with 8:06 to play. Good burst down the field here for Marshall. They have covered ground quickly. They'll set it up now for Fernandez. Fernandez tried to get Yosef. You see Milo Yosef there leaping up into the air. He knows how close he was. He was leading the top of that phalanx, and Marshall almost had him there for the offensive attack. The battle of the bulge of the soccer variety. How do you become the spearhead to move your way towards that goal and try to deliver a striking scenario and relieve? Think of that goal as Baston, and think of your feet and the ball as the invading force, the force to deliver the big goal late. It's turning into a battle. Yosef is there close. Ball bounces. It comes back down to Milo Yosef, trying to go up bicycle style that time, but he fell down onto his back, and Levine controls. And Levine, he won't throw it. He'll go ahead and elevate that foot with a powerful kick, utilizing the thigh, the lower leg, and bounding it down the pitch with 7:05 remaining. And Fordham now with an opportunity to go ahead and break this deadlock. But credit the defense of Marshall that time, as they had Adam Kiernan in there with his flowing hair coming into the situation. And Fordham now will get ready to toss it back in with Adrian Valentine.
Fordham lucky the last couple of possessions. Marshall has had chances within that 18-yard or so box, but the defense of the Rams have come up big. Now Fordham on the other end of the pitch looking to get something going offensively this last 6 minutes of the second half.
And now from Valentine, now we're getting close to the 5-minute to go mark. And you know what that means? It means everything gets ratcheted up. 6:18 to play. You see it there in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. These 2 teams here in the second round, Marshall and Fordham, in a tie situation at the moment. Here's Marshall. The attack again from midfield. That's where it'll start with Fernandez. Vinicius Fernandez gets it back. He delivers this one to DeSantos. DeSantos clears it away and hooks up with Jamil Roberts. Roberts finding Yosef. Bounces back now to Roberts. Roberts too high over the goal when Levine, and Yosef there leaping up again. He seems to be at the very tip top of that attack every time for the Thundering Herd. 5:34 to play.
Yeah, cross attempt just still too high for Yosef. You see what Marshall's trying to do to getting the ball in those corners, stretching that backline defense out, running Yosef towards the front of the net for a cross and possibly a header.
One of the members of the staff here retrieving the ball. Fresh one for Levine back into play. Fordham, Marshall. Yellow card goes to the assistant coach.
That's what I thought. I saw
Right.
the assistant coach standing up, but I wasn't sure if Coach Grassi got the yellow card or a player.
Here's one. Yosef was close to it. Fordham gets in the middle of it now with Kesner. Kesner still on the move with a heavy kick.
I think that's a rare thing for an assistant coach to get a yellow card. If you're a basketball fan, liken it to one of your assistant coaches getting a technical.
Right.
Usually you don't see that from an assistant, so must have been something said in an unruly manner by Marshall's assistant coach.
Yeah, the assistant coach still down there after that yellow card. So he was loud and vocal is what we're hearing now from the truck, Damien. Loud and vocal on the sideline.
Loud and vocal.
Yeah, so the yellow card came out.
Doesn't take much, huh?
No, that's right. And the officials can hear everything, and they picked it out that time. 4 minutes and counting. Marshall kicked away from DeSantos. Musa-Yunus. You know, Yosef's going to be down here close on the attack. Booted away from Kiernan. An opportunity. Pass Levine. Yosef again down there close.
Yeah, other side of the pitch. Cross to the far left post. Yosef just a bit off on that header. You see what Marshall's offensive game plan is doing.
Absolutely.
Run the pitch. You cross to the far post. You have Yosef. He's tall. He's about 6'2", 6'2 and a half.
Right.
Get him across that scoring box for an header attempt.
So now it'll be Levine. Levine clears it away. 3:09 left. Met with a header there from Marshall, but Fordham responds in kind with one from Rogers, who scored that goal back in the first half. Now Fordham here with Matt Sloan. Sloan will send it away. Connects with his teammate, and that's Flynn. There it goes. Bounces off the side of the goal, and Simla that time almost watched it go into the back, but the post saved it.
Yeah, right post helped out Simla on that save. Simla stretched out. Heck of a shot on goal by the Rams. Simla got a hand on it, but that post saved the day for Marshall.
Corner now for Flynn. Galen Flynn for Fordham. 2:17 and counting. Boots it in from the corner. Ball loose. Marshall controlling, but now Fordham gets it back and clears it away past Simla. Another player goes down for Marshall. But back up.
E o jogo da Marquette acabou de acabar, então tá indo pro overtime. E aqui é o que eu falei, a Fordham queria isso, segurar até o final. Bola aérea de cabeça, o goleiro foi muito bem, o goleiro é muito bom, acho que ele é alemão também. E agora é isso, uma falta que o juiz deu, não parou o relógio, também a galera tá lá pedindo para ele parar o relógio, fazendo o X com a mão, né, com o braço. Só que não parou o relógio ainda, ó. O relógio tá rodando ali, vai ser mais bola na área, acho que ele vai querer botar na área do que chutar essa bola aí. Vamos ver.
For Fordham with a late chance. Matt Sloan with time ticking by, 1:14 remaining. This could break the deadlock. Sloan sends it away softly.
Ó, o cara podia chutar, botou pra área. Eles querem isso, querem bola na área. Botaram pro meio, mas não tinha ninguém. Então, deu um gelo aí no final, né? Marshall controlando o jogo inteiro. Em uma bola, quase que foi. E agora é isso, mais 50 segundos, vai ser um ataque da Marshall, o último ataque, ou faz o gol e acaba o jogo, ou vai pro overtime, pra prorrogação.
It's 37 seconds and counting remaining here in regulation. Marshall looks like they may have one more scoring opportunity, and Levine has to be ready for it. This is where we saw the theatrics last night with under a minute to go, but we're well under that now, under 30 seconds remaining. Look at Levine get down and save.
Pegou a sobra ali, o Vitor Dias. O goleiro encaixou, agora acho que já era. Acho que eles não vão querer nem dar esse último ataque. Tinha 15 segundos, mas o goleiro vai segurar. Estão querendo jogar.
Johnny on the spot with the critical save in the last 10 seconds.
That could very well be the play of the match. It's one thing's for certain, it's going to send us to overtime.
É isso, agora o overtime normalmente só tem, sei lá, 2, 3 minutos pra galera arrumar tudo e começar. Não vai ter nem intervalo grande. E aí, dois tempos de 10 minutos, quem fizer ganha, se não fizer, pênalti. Deixa eu botar o da... Marquette, Que lá acabou um pouco antes, vai começar um pouco antes também.
Back at Wake Med Soccer Park in Cary, this is opening round action of the men's NCAA championship, and we are headed to overtime between Marquette and LMU. Marquette, 6 shots, 1 on goal in the regulation time. For LMU, 18 shots, 6 of them on goal. Corners were dominated by LMU 12-2, but LMU was flagged for a pair of offside calls. And it will be first touch of this first overtime period to Marquette. Remember, it's sudden victory. If no one scores in this first 10 minutes, we'll play another 10-minute overtime session. And if no one scores in that overtime session, we are off to penalty kicks. This one ferried down the field. Settled. Now into the middle for Marquette. Punch toward the corner and unable to track that one down is Marquette. It's a throw in here for LMU. Christian Wood asked to back up a few paces. Wagner battling for Marquette. 50-50 balls. Settled. And now LMU comes away with it. Caliscan. Wide side of the field now. LMU with their first opportunity in the extra period. This one chunked in. Trying to run it down in the corner and unable to do so is Anderson. Two clubs that are so evenly matched. Two clubs that have prided themselves on their defensive ability all season long. LMU has permitted just 2 goals this season. Now, if we play the 2 penalty kicks, or play 2 penalty kicks, it will be recorded as a draw, but then a penalty kick victory for one side or the other. But I'm sure you're aware of that. Lopez. Now for Mercado. Lopez, again, the conference defensive player of the year, trying to get the offense brewing for his squad. This ball headed down. Settled. Through traffic was Shockley. Keeps the possession. Through traffic, a couple of Marquette players there to help chaperone this ball over the touch line. But another throw in here for LMU. Shockley will do the honors. Shockley, who has played a majority of this contest, has been issued a yellow card. 3 yellows aside for these two clubs. A physical, well-played contest. Punched away. Out near the center line. Mercado again. Chunks this one. Wheeled into the box. Nobody home at the moment. Then it's chipped just high of the cage, as it was Caliscan who tried to run one up and in, but instead blasted high of Hallwood, who puts it in play again. Hallwood has made 6 saves today. He entered action today as the number 1 saver, or the league leader in saves in the Big East. But he's been busy today, and a nice job there by Wegner to come help thwart the scoring attempt of LMU. Lopez. Now for Zuli. This one in. An opportunity in front that's ushered aside nicely by Marquette. Bit of a half chance was building.
Viu que a Marquette está defendendo muito mais e vai começar agora o da Marshall. Vou trocar aqui.
Wood, a deep throw in.
That right foot that time to stop it from careening out of bounds. Now Marshall on the move, and Fordham has to get back defensively. Marshall, the Thundering Herd, moving in an awfully quick hurry. They're going with Souza now. Yael Souza, nowhere to go, kicks it away, finds it back now to Milo Yusuf. Yusuf getting it clear. 9 minutes and counting in this opening overtime period. A header to steer it away out of trouble, and Levine there working goal. But Marshall will get it back now. They'll kick it around and try to find the best path to the goal to try to end this thing in the opening overtime period. But that ball will roll harmlessly out of bounds.
Good defense on the other end of the pitch by Milo Yosef to get the ball away from Fordham. Now look for the Thundering Herd to have a corner kick situation. On these things, it's always a possibility for headers, but the carom off of the header on the rebound, look for that to possibly be trouble for Levine.
From the corner. They'll kick it in, Will Marshall. The initial meet, Levine was there defensively, kind of got crowded again. Here's one that's kicked backwards that time for Fordham. On the pursuit is Rogers for the Rams. Rolling ball past the logo, picked up for Marshall by Dolabella. Now it's Milo Yosef. Yosef is met there by 2. Dolabella still going. He kicked that one right to Levine, who was ready. And there was a tough angle there for Levine because it came straight away, right along the equator line, if you will, if there was a line that led right to the goal. That's where it came that time from Dolabella. Marshall able to corral it and get it back with 7:33 left in the opening overtime period.
Yeah, Levine seeing heavy action early in this overtime in their back line defense, but Levine coming up with a huge save there for the Fordham Rams.
Yeah, Levine, guys, one of those players who have played all of the minutes for the Rams this season. He also is in the top 15th in the NCAA in save percentage, goals against average, and shutouts.
Yeah, Levine is masterful at goal. You mentioned that at the start of the broadcast, Bridget, about logging all those minutes and having to do the same here in the second round of the NCAA tournament. Levine's been in there throughout. And then on the other side, working goal, we've seen Levine, of course, be strong, and then Oliver Semla.
Another corner kick situation here for Marshall. Last time on the corner kick, ball was headed and caromed. Could have been disaster for Fordham. Let's see what the Thundering Herd come up with on this set piece.
From the corner, Marshall with Yosef. That one touched off the top of the goal. Yosef, he was right in that scoring position again, and it touched off of his head and went right to the top of the goal, and Levine retrieves it. Another close call.
Fantastic corner kick effort there as Milo Yosef with the header off of the top right post. Almost a golden goal game winner for Yosef. Fordham fans can breathe a sigh of relief.
Levine clears it. Levine with 6 saves in this match. Fordham. Ball pops around. Pursued by Sloan. Marshall also getting it out of trouble with Sloan over there defending, and now Marshall takes back over. Fernandez joined now by Kiernan. And here's Milo Yosef, who takes a tumble.
Yosef has been active all afternoon long. See now Marshall understands, hey, we can get this ball into the Fordham backline zone. We can have a chance at a shot on goal and end this thing in the first overtime session.
Marshall now into Fordham territory. Halfway through the first overtime period. A header to get it out of trouble. There's the ever-present Yosef down there for Marshall. Kicked around by Kiernan. Yosef has it back. Nowhere to go as he was defended well by McNamara. Couple stutter kicks for Fernandez. Far side now off the chest. Trying to get this through 2 defenders now as both Sloan and Rogers are there. Marshall rolling past Flynn.
Some miscommunication there on the touch for Marshall. Going to give the possession back to Fordham. Last 4 minutes of this first overtime session. Both teams are not on the pitch. It's been a hot day. Fitness can be a factor as these minutes tick away.
Levine. Away it goes off the head. Marshall there. Controls it. Fordham on the chase that time with Flynn. Tough spot for Marshall to gather it in, but they do now. Start the move down the field. Went through the legs, then a fall that time for Gabriel Alves. Alves getting it back. Almost hit the deck. Near contact with Fadazada. Marshall on the move. 3.5 left, first overtime frame. Hooking up now with Alves. Alves spins it under his feet. Opportunity.
There it is!
Yosef! Milo Yosef wins it for Marshall. The Thundering Herd move on. Yosef scoring both goals today. Clouded by teammates. Yosef the hero for the Thundering Herd in sudden death overtime.
Yosef has been running to the front of the box all afternoon long. Touch to the front of the box. Joseph flashes that right boot to the back of the net. The Thundering Herd with the big dub.
Milo Yosef.
Corey, Milo Yosef, one of those guys from Germany who did not get to go home since the pandemic began.
Atacando a ponta,
felt that toll that's been taken on him. He hasn't been able to see his friends, hasn't been able to see his family, hasn't been able to sleep in his own bed.
Ou o próprio João, às vezes ia, o Vinícius ia lá, o Pedro atacando sempre, cruzando a bola para trás. Então, com certeza isso foi treinado. Tinha um atacante que sabe fazer gol. E o que ela tá falando é isso, justamente. Vencedor desse jogo, a Marshall agora espera para ver quem vai passar entre Clemson e a outra equipe que classificou. Então, classificado Marshall, vou até botar agora o da Marquette segue 0-0, mas enfim, jogo emocionante
Big number 7, the 6'2"
decidido no
scoring 2 goals today. He
então,
only had 2 goals scored the entire duration of the regular season. Came against West Virginia Tech. He had both of his goals in that game.
Passou a primeira fase, agora focar no próximo jogo, provavelmente Clemson.
So now March,
e aí,
April, and into May,
jogão
2.5 months plus for Joseph. You see him there.
Dos
getting close to Florian Delatoglu for Fordham, and Joseph the hero. He's on the march now back to celebrate with the teammates. He got crowded by them at the end, but Joseph, 2 goals in 1 game of the regular season, Damian, 2 in the second round here in the NCAA tournament, and Joseph does it all today for Marshall, with of course a lot of help from his teammates, but he was putting himself in offensive scoring opportunities throughout. It's a 2
E agora o jogo da Marquette é isso. A Marquette teve até uma chance agora um pouco importante, não, quase gol. Mas é isso, o jogo tá sendo totalmente ataque contra a defesa. A Marquette se segurando ali, agora teve uma falta no atacante deles. E a Marquette vai tentar achar algum gol. De novo, quem fizer, acaba o jogo. Vou deixar aqui rodando agora esse finalzinho do jogo. Faltando 27 segundos para o primeiro tempo. Do primeiro para o segundo tempo, da prorrogação, não tem intervalo nenhum. Só vai virar o campo, começar o segundo, 10 minutos. Se continuar, aí é pênalti.
near the midfield. LMU wins the possession, but with 15 seconds left, not sure how much they'll be able to build up for one more attack. And this should do it for the end of regulation.
4, 3, 2, 1.
And that is the end of regulation and of both overtime periods. So this first round matchup will be headed to penalty kicks between Marquette and LMU.
Acabou empatado então, agora vai ser pênalti mesmo. Normal, 5 pênaltis para cada, sem intervalo e vamos ver. O goleiro da Marquette é muito bom, então acho que eles têm grandes chances também de classificar. Então vamos acompanhar agora. Tava sem áudio, mas acho que eu já ativei, acho que agora tá funcionando.
We're back at WakeMed Soccer Park here in Cary, getting ready for penalty kicks. And this opening round contest between Marquette and LMU. LMU, the 9th ranked team in the nation this week. Marquette up to as high as 18 or 19, depending on the poll that you look at. So we'll be ready for penalty kicks here. Hallwood and Stern are both in there for Marquette. And perhaps they're going to alternate in terms of who's going to take the penalty kicks. Stern, the junior out of Germany, has only appeared in one match this season, has made one save. Beg your pardon, this is Mitchell Wilson of LMU, it looks like. So Mitchell Wilson will be the keeper, it appears, for LMU here in this penalty kick scenario. Jacob Jackson is out there, but is not the keeper in the penalty kicks. Marquette, by the way, in PKs this year, 1 for 1. Against LMU, teams were 1 for 1 this year. And it will be Beto Soto to take the first penalty shot. Soto, 3 goals, a Big East Freshman of the Year this season. 3rd team all-conference, all Big East tournament. Soto will go first for Marquette. Soto against Wilson. A goal for Marquette.
Marquette shot made by number 11, Beto Soto.
So Soto giving fist bumps to his goalkeeper. Hallwood, who has been phenomenal today for Marquette. Hallwood making 7 saves, a 3rd team all Big East selection. He will face Noel Caliscan. 3 goals for Caliscan this year. The West Coast Conference Offensive Player of the Year against the 3rd team all Big East selection. This to keep it even. Caliscan. And a save. Hallwood with a big save. Now for Marquette, Lucas Sunison, 1st team all Big East selection. Was a Big East all freshman team pick in 2018. Sunison against Wilson. Sunison. A goal. And the first 2 for Marquette.
Shot made by number 9, Lucas Soto.
So Sunison puts Marquette up 2-0. Remember, 5 PKs. It's almost not quite a must score, but you're getting into that territory here if you're LMU. LMU did not attempt a penalty shot during the regular season. Hallwood looking for another save. He'll be facing Oberle here. Bastien Oberle, the native of Switzerland, a 2nd team all West Coast Conference selection. And he misses high and wide. In disbelief. Got that one too flush. Chipped it high and left of the cage. And this could almost wrap it up for Marquette here. Alan Salmeron has not scored this year, has 1 assist. Working against Wilson. Salmeron. A goal!
Marquette shot made by number 8, Alex Samra.
And now this is a must score for LMU. Marquette up 3-0 in penalty kicks. 3 shots remaining for LMU. So they need a goal on all 3 and need stops from the keepers. LMU 0 for 2 so far. This is Dylan Shockley, the junior from Irvine, California. Shockley puts it home.
LMU shot made by number 2, Dylan Shockey.
So the goal there for Shockey. And now for Marquette, Zion Andrade. Andrade scored the game-winning goal against Creighton on March the 20th. A third-team All-Big East selection. Andrade. A save! It was Wilson with. And now another must score here for LMU. Ronaldo Brown, the junior from Kingston, Jamaica. Honorable mention, all West Coast Conference selection. 4 years of soccer for the Jamaican College, all-time leading scorer with 40 goals over 4 years. A transfer from Northeast Texas Community College. Brown readies to go to work against Hallwood. Brown fakes him out and misses. He missed it wide to the right, and it's Marquette who soars into round 2 with a penalty kick victory. Just the second ever NCAA tournament win for Marquette. Their first since their last appearance in 2013. And it is Marquette on to round 2, where they will meet the winner.
Passou também Marquette, então os dois brasileiros passando, Marshall e a Marquette. O Zion acabou perdendo o pênalti ali, mas enfim, não pesou. Então é isso, galera. Eu vou fechar já que a transmissão já está um tempão, 2h50. Vou ver aqui como que vai ser a logística para o jogo da UCF às 6 e pouco, eu acho que a gente começa, e aí qualquer coisa a gente vai transmitir. Valeu, galera, abraço para todo mundo, boa tarde, espero que tenham curtido e passou, estamos acertando o bracket por enquanto, Marshall e Marquette classificadas. Valeu, galera, boa tarde para todo mundo.